Good morning and Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all are well and fine and doing great. Welcome back to the class of computer. In this class, we are not about to start a new chapter. We are going to relearn some of the things from one of our chapter. So, let's get started. So, the chapter which we are going to review, the name of the chapter is Classification of Computer. If you remember, it was our second chapter. So, why we are going to review this chapter? Because this chapter is included in your syllabus of first monthly test. So, we are going to review this chapter. So, here we go. So, here comes the page of your book. That is page number 4. And this is the page where your chapter starts. The name of the chapter, as we have discussed, the name of the chapter is Classification of Computer. We can classify the computer according to many purposes. We can classify the computer according to their purpose. We can classify the computer according to their size or their any specialty. But here we have classified the computer according to their size. Here I have underlined the line: computers can be classified according to their size as follows. As I ask you in every class to underline the important lines in your book, here I have myself underlined some of the important points which we are going to review. So, if we classify the computer according to their size, so we get these four classes. Number 1, microcomputers. Number 2, mini computers. Number 3, mainframe computers. And number 4, supercomputers. So we are going to start number 1, that is microcomputers. Micro means small. Micro means small. So microcomputers are the small size general purpose computers, and they are often called as PCs or personal computer. They are small, so they cover space of a table only. Okay, they have limited memory and processing speed, and students and persons who have small business use these computers. And here are the examples. The examples of microcomputers are desktop computer, laptops, tablets are the examples of the microcomputers. Here comes the next page of your book, and that is page number 5, where some more examples of microcomputers are there, and these include laptops, notepad, palm tops, and writing pads. They all are small, so they are the examples of microcomputers. Okay, here you can see some of the examples: laptops, tablets, and here cell phone is also included in microcomputers because they are smaller in size. Okay, then another class, that is the second class of our computer, that is mini computers. Mini means small. So these are also small computers, but if we compare mini computers with microcomputers, so they are bigger than microcomputers. Okay, so microcomputers are bigger than mini computers are bigger than microcomputers in size, and they have more memory and processing speed if we compare them with the microcomputers. They are used in small organizations and they have 2 or 3 units. Okay, and this is how mini computers look like. And as we know that they are used by small organizations. And here comes the last page of this chapter, that is page number 6, where rest of the types of computers are there, and these are mainframe computers and supercomputers. If we talk about mainframe computers, they are large in size. They have more memory and processing speed than micro and mini computers. These computers are used to handle huge volume of data because they are bigger in size, so they can control huge volume of data. If we talk about its terminals can be spread all over the country, And where it is used? These kind of computers are used in banks, universities, government offices, research center. And the last type of the computer according to the size, that is supercomputers. As they are the fourth type of the computer, this is the fourth type of the computer, so it is going to be most powerful, most expensive, and they have great memory and processing speed. When we were talking about the terminals of mainframe computers, so we noticed one thing here, that terminals can be spread all over the country. But when we talk about supercomputers, their terminals or terminals of supercomputers can be spread nationally or internationally. Okay? And where they are used? They are used for solving scientific problems, space problems, weather forecasting, and animation in movies. So far I've shown you your pages of your book. Now here comes the review of previous lectures. As on your first page of this chapter, we have learned that how do we select computer to purchase. So we select computer on the basis of our need. For example, if we are student, we must want small size computer, and a big organization would need big size computer. So we select the computer according to our need. So here comes the classification of computer again. As we have learned from book that we have classified the computers in this chapter according to their size. Okay, their size can vary. For example, we can talk about a desktop computer, a laptop computers, and different types of computers are there. Their sizes are different. And here comes four different types of computers according to their size: microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. As we go to the next level, the size is gradually increasing. For example, mini computers are bigger than microcomputers, mainframe computers are bigger than mini computers, and supercomputers are bigger than mainframe computers. So as we go to the next type, the size would gradually increase and their processing speed and memory would also be greater and greater type by type. Now here comes some of the general features of microcomputers, and these are microcomputers are small in size. They are general purpose computer. They are often called as PCs or personal computers. They cover space of a table. They have limited memory and processing speed. Students and persons who have a small business use this computer. And the examples are desktop, laptops. Now here comes some of the portable microcomputers, and here are the examples. These computers have a small keyboard, a CPU, and a folding screen. The best example for the folding screen is laptop. Some of them are available with touch screen facility. As we can see, the cell phones of nowadays, people usually use these computers when they are away from their offices or homes because they are portable, they can be carried anywhere. And here comes the next type of computers according to the size, and that is mini computers. They are bigger in size than microcomputers. They have more memory and processing speed. They are used in small organizations to handle medium-sized business, and they cover a space of cupboard. Here you can observe it is looking like a cupboard, so they cover the space of a cupboard. When we were talking about microcomputers, They cover the space of a table. Now here you can see that the size is increased when we go through microcomputers to mini computers. Dear kids, here comes the next type of computers according to the size, and that is mainframe computers, and they are bigger than mini and microcomputers both. They are big in size, they are expensive, they have great or more memory and processing speed. Remember one thing, we are comparing mainframe computers with mini computers and microcomputers. So they are having more memory and processing speed. They are used to handle huge volume of data. As the size is increased, they are more capable. It occupies the space of a big room and its terminals can be spread all over the country. It supports hundreds or thousands of users simultaneously. When we were talking about microcomputer can be used by a single person, for example, student or any person who have small business. And when we were talking about mini computers can be used by small organization or medium-sized business. But if we talk about mainframe computers, so they can support hundreds and thousands of users simultaneously because their terminals are spread all over the country. They are more powerful. We have learned the general features of mainframe computers so far. Now here comes some of the uses of mainframe computers. Mainframe computers are used in banks, universities, government offices, and research centers. This is a kind of mainframe computer, and you can see that their terminals can be spread all over the country. Okay, so here we are going to review the last type of computer according to the size, and these are supercomputers. Here are the general features of supercomputers. As this is the fourth type of a computer according to the size, so they are going to be most powerful, they are most expensive, they have great memory, they have great processing speed, and if we talk about their terminals can be spread nationally or internationally. They are having the high level of performance. In these pictures, you can observe how supercomputers look like and how big they are. Now here are some of the uses of supercomputers, and these are used for solving scientific problem, space problem, weather forecasting, and animation in movies. We watch animated movies, they look so real, but they are edited by supercomputers. So, if we talk about the supercomputers, they are used for this purpose where we cannot use any other computer. Okay? So, it's time to say goodbye because we have reviewed this chapter properly. We have learned some of the important lines from your book by highlighting them, and after that we have learned some of the important things from this chapter, and we know that computers can be classified into four different classes or types according to their size, and these are microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. As we go from one class to another, the size would gradually increase and their processing speed and memory would also increase. Okay, so we can compare them very easily. This chapter is important for your first monthly test. So hopefully this lecture is going to help you. So thank you so much. Take care. We shall meet in the next class with some other information.